So here I am in my GoDaddy account. I bought this domain using GoDaddy. You can buy it with whichever company you want. It doesn't have to be GoDaddy. For all of them, it's going to be the exact same thing. If you have a domain name, then that's fine. You can just enter your administration console and make sure you access a place where you can see the zone files. Okay, so whenever you see something like a host, 4a hosts, and then the CNAMEs and MX and all that and TXTs, you know that you're in the right place. Okay, we need to see all of these names here to know that we're in the right place. So we're in the right place to configure our domain. Okay, so again, so buy your domain name if you don't have one, and if you want to buy a domain name. If you want to just test your application, you don't need to buy a domain name. But if you want to buy one, buy it with whichever provider you want, and then make sure to find the place where you see the DNS zone files. Okay. Okay, so once we're here, we're going to need to configure a couple of things. We're going to need to configure the A hosts and the CNAMEs, and then also the TXTs, okay? So let's see how we do this. Let's go back to our console and go under App Engine, so Compute App Engine. Let's go to Settings. And here we see Custom Domains, okay? So let's add a custom domain. Okay, so here, since I've already configured this domain name previously, you'll probably have to fill in this step first. So I'm going to do this as well. So yumsearch.com, verify. Now open up a new window, and here it asks you for your provider. Now what they've done is they've integrated this verify button with every provider. So if I hit GoDaddy and hit verify, it will, try to log in into my account. And when I log in into my account, well, it will automatically verify the domain. I'm not going to do this because maybe some of you, so this is the easier option, so you can go ahead and do this, but I'm not going to do this because maybe some of you don't have your provider in this list, so I'm going to do it manually. And if you want to do it manually, you need to click on this Add TXT record, okay? Okay, so what's going on here? Well, you don't have to read all of this. Essentially what it's saying is that you need to add a TXT record, okay? So remember here in our domain, we have the domain configuration, we have the TXT records. So this is what we need to add, okay? And the host is going to be a @, and the value of the TXT record is going to be all of this, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and add a record under TXT. And the host again is the @ and the value is all of that. And 1 hour is fine here, and finish. I'm going to hit finish. Okay, once we've done this, we can actually go ahead and save the changes. And once they're saved, we can go ahead and go to the very bottom and hit verify. Okay, great. Since we added the TXT records, when we hit the verify button, Google has gone ahead and read the TXT record and saw if it's exactly the same thing that it told us to put, then it's the domain name is verified. So now we have a verified domain name. So congratulations, we can start using this now. Okay, so let's go back to our console. And now we can actually go to step number 2 and actually point the domain name to our application. So for the time being, I'm just going to hit the first option. And we'll do the www in just a second, but I'm going to hit add for the time being. Are you sure you want to override the existing mapping? This is because I already have this domain name assigned to another application. It's the YumSearch 1 I created before actually going ahead and creating this course. So it will probably not ask you this, but anyway, I'm just going to hit OK. And once you have done that, it will tell you all of the IP addresses. It's basically 4. We can ignore these bottom 4. So we can add these 4 IP addresses under the A hosts, okay? Okay, so let's go. And let's see. Actually, if you see here, I'm just going to copy 1 because they are all the same, except that the other 3 just increment the 32, 34, 36, and 38. So they increment by 2 each time. So I'm just going to remember that, and I'm going to add a record. and the host is going to be a @. The @ basically tells the domain that it's pointing to itself, okay? So it's not some kind of alias of the domain or anything. And points to the first IP, add another. And now I'm just going to change it to 4. Remember, it increments by 2, 6, and the final one is 8. Finish. Okay, so I have my IPs here. So I'm going to save the changes. Okay, and now let's go ahead and hit www. So I also want to point the www.yumsearch.com to the same application. Okay, add, and I'm going to override the mapping. And now it's telling me that I need to change the CNAME and hit the alias www to this domain here. Okay, so I'm going to do that. So add a CNAME. So the host is going to be the 3 W's. So we want to point the www.yumsearch.com to, and this is going to be the host that Google provides. Okay, so finish. Okay, everything looks good. Save changes. Okay, so all of our changes have been saved. So we have finished now. We have successfully configured our domain so that it points to our Google App Engine application now. These changes in DNS settings may not be immediate, okay? Because what GoDaddy has to do now is it has to replicate all of these changes across thousands and thousands of servers it may have. So this may take a while, okay? So don't worry if you can't immediately access your application. If you have done everything correctly, so you've pointed to these four IP addresses and you've pointed the alias of www to this host here, then and you've verified your domain, then you're all set to go, and you just need to wait maybe a couple of minutes or maybe even a couple of hours, okay? So congratulations, you have pointed a domain name to your newly deployed Google App Engine application. This is wonderful. This is amazing. I mean, you not only have deployed an application with using just one simple command, you have also seen how easy it is to point a domain name to our Google App Engine application, and how Google helps us in the process with all of these prompts here and makes our life really easy, okay? In the next section, we will actually go ahead and see the very basics of using the traces in our application. So this will be to find out areas where we can improve the speed and the cost of our application, okay?